What is going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm doing good. Technical difficulties pre-stream, but I mean, that's literally to be expected. And your camera doesn't want to work and you got to restart everything. So here we are. What's the word here? Undeterred. Maybe that's something I can say. And stoked for this one today. So if you're new here, we're going to do some ear training. And this is episode number 14. 14 weeks is basically in a row of doing this. So how it works is that we're going to be chilling and listening to music and analyzing it basically and fingering it out on the guitar and the piano and talking about key centers and hearing chord qualities. And the main topic today is going to be modes. I have to say it like that. Ooh, modes. Always a fun topic for us music nerds. Everybody loves modes. I wonder if it's because not many people know what they are. What's that? You know, it's like the shiny kind of thing. So I'll clear all that up for all of you out there. And last week or the week before, my last stream, I did Put Your Records On. Man, there was some mode stuff in there. A lot of Lydian going on. I don't know if any of you want to know about what modes are. We can talk about that. Basically, how I'm thinking about it is, are the chords the same this time? No, it's not the same this time. So we're going to be doing Kiss from a Rose by Seal, one of the greatest songs of all time. And then, yeah, we'll figure out the chords. I'll point out the modal stuff, and that's the introduction. So let's check out the track and get it in our ears. So as I like to do, I like to remind everyone that when do we ever just listen to music? We're always putting it on in the background, and maybe this is a good time for you, whoever you are, to just kind of chill for like, let's listen to a whole song together and not do anything else. Can we focus for 4 minutes these days, Jesus? So if you got good headphones, go grab them. Good speakers. Tell your roommates to be quiet. Stop clanging dishes. And let's listen to the track. Now, when you're listening, you can do it actively. So there's passive and active listening. You can see if any chord qualities stand out to you, any particular rhythms, notes. Maybe you can hear intervals. Maybe you do ear training already and like, oh, that was the flat 6 chord of the whatever. So keep those things in mind. I'll definitely be doing that. And let's check it out. Let me pick the right song. That's probably a good thing to do. All right, Kiss from a Rose, Seal.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the there is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. pleasure now. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should be kissed by a rose on the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Okay. Wow. What a good song. I love that song. I'm very biased. I guess I pick these kind of songs, so obviously going to pick songs that I like. But man, this one has just always done it for me for years. I've done, admittedly, multiple times actually in my life, full transcriptions of it. And even though there's still new things that stand out to me, which is cool. Okay, what's up, chat? Cryptographics, my biggest fan. So we already got some suggestions for what the chords are doing, people. We got a nerd in the house. What's cryptographics saying? Flats for... So I haven't actually obviously gone through anything yet, but we're already got some for the main verse. Flat 6, flat 7, 1, but the 1 is major instead of minor. Ooh, is that a mode stuff? I don't know if that's a mode within harmonic or melodic minor, but that's dope. If it's just modal. Well, if it was melodic or harmonic minor, those have, I mean, natural 7s. So, nope. Yeah, and melodic minor has a natural 6, and we've got flat 6, flat 7. So, you proved your own argument incorrect. Close, though. Okay. So, let's do a little testy test. Audio's working. Okay, so let's start picking through it. I'm going to go through the intro, and then I don't know how nerdy we get. I was thinking of even like notating everything in MIDI and analyzing the chords, but maybe I'll just kind of keep it a little bit more live, you can kind of say. Sorry, love talking. All right. So let's check out the intro and see what's going on with that. So listen carefully. I'll probably play it a few times. There's going to be a lot going on in the intro, so we'll just try to see if we can get the chords. And let's do that first. So. Also, cryptographics. How's the volume on that, the playback there? Compared to my guitar. Why does it sound so quiet? I don't know. I don't know if that's just me that's so quiet. I'm gonna turn this up a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna turn it up like 5 dB. Guitar's far louder. Yeah, okay, I'm getting the... That should be good anyway. It'll do the trick. Okay, so let's check it out. Right. Yeah. Man, there's so much going on here. The chords kind of come in around here. So let's find the bass note at least. The first chord in that left headphone on the keys is definitely inverted. I can hear that. Kind of sounds like that. No. All right. Right. I remember now. I'm doing this kind of thing. Right. Let's get the melody. It does that at the end there, so it's like So assuming A flat is in the bass, we've got 1, 2, flat 3. And then this is like 3 and 1 of B flat. And then A flat becomes major. So it's like A flat minor to why am I getting tripped up for a second? Yeah, sorry, not B flat, G flat. Oh, what? Sorry, what's happening? A flat. This is G flat. I still, after so many flipping years of talking music theory, I still mix up that, like, I was thinking like B is before A. It's just, it's also the morning time, so. So it's like A flat minor to G flat major to A flat major. So it's like 1 minor, flat 7, back to 1 major. So already it's getting pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. And then there's just, I mean, we could sit here and figure out every single vocal harmony. I like doing that, but we're not going to do that today. Okay, I want to get one of them, though. That thing. All right, we got one. Here we go.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen?
Okay. It's always nice having bass notes. So, A flat's in the bass.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea.
Yeah, I'm hearing cryptographics is suggestion earlier. 1 flat 6 flat 7.
There used to be a great
Ba-ba. I'm hearing a like an upper guitar part in the right headphone that's playing continuously through the chord changes.
There used to be a
Something like that.
there There used to be a graying
I'm missing a note. It almost just sounds like octaves. And then... And this... Okay, so I'm kind of combining the... So I'll try to slow down a bit. So, like 1, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So I'm thinking 1 major, flat 7 major. Sorry, flat 6 major to flat 7 major. But I'm also noticing that this note stays through all of the changes. If you can notice that.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea.
Right? So then we can think this note is in this chord, it's in E, and it's in this. Right? So it's the 5 of the 1. E flat is 5 of A flat. But it's going to be major 7 of E. So this is like flat 6 major 7 now. And then this is 6 of F sharp. So this is like F sharp 6. So it's already getting a little bit more complex than on the surface, right? One of these guys. It's all right. And then we got, this is going. So.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea.
And I'm not even analyzing his voice right now.
There used
It's probably the 11 thing. Yeah, it is.
there
So he's adding the 11 on top of the 1 major chord there.
there used to be a
This is where E comes in. It's like. Right. So, what's happening there? And then like an add 9 thing at the end there. So it's like 1 add 11. It's so hard to voice add 11 chords on guitar, but if we can get the whole thing, it would be that. As like a chord. It's kind of what... Oh, you guys aren't even seeing my guitar. God, sorry about that. So this is the add 11 chord that he's playing there. And then it's going to E major 7. One of these guys. We can add the E back. Then we got F sharp 6. And then back to... So I'm quite satisfied with that. 1 flat 6 major 7, flat 7 6, back to 1 add 11 kind of thing. So already we got some modal stuff going on here, because like if we're in a major key, why do we have a flat 6 major and a flat 7 major chord? Does anybody know? As in the one person in the chat. I don't know if anyone else is lurking out there, so if anyone else has any thoughts on why we have a 1 major chord and then we've got a flat 6 and flat 7 also major chords. Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to continue in the meantime.
There used to be a gray tower.
I'm just noticing something from the chat here. Interesting. I may have been hearing the 5th as a first bass note somehow. The 5th? As a first bass note somehow, which would be the flat 6. I think you're talking about the intro there, but I'm still not sure what you mean. Yeah, because right, the intro was like 1 minor, flat 7 major, 1 major, hooray. Interesting, I may have been hearing the 5th as a first bass note somehow, which would be the flat 6. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Like the 5th is the bass note of the is a flat 6, so. Feel free to clarify. Okay.
There used to be a gray tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains.
Oh my God, that friggin' note. There's that add 11 thing again. Little add 11 arpeggio. Love add 11 arpeggios.
Love remains a drug that's high enough to kill.
So, it's funny because it's falling from the flat 7 of the key. That's going to be, if I can snipe this. It's like a... It's descending in Mixolydian. I'm trying to see if I can hear the chords. Thinking like... something like that. I'm hilariously wrong. Please ignore that. No problem. So these bass notes, they could each represent a chord, but what I'm hearing is that it's starting on flat 7. Am I going to mix up the thing again? Yeah. Yeah, so this is flat 7, major. All the notes fit over top of that. And then it's going to 4 major. It's like... Right, and then the 1's becoming minor there. It's like, all right. Okay, so that whole section, the verse we've got into flat 6 major 7 into flat 7 6, like major 6, 1 at 11. I'll try to get a voicing of that. And then he's got... And we got the, Here comes the chorus. I feel like that freaking chord there. The chorus is the same as the intro so far. That thing right there. Yeah, it's going to flat 7 there. Some sort of thing happening there. What is that? Something's happening there. It's tripping out. It's almost like that's at 11 now. We're hearing flat 6 in the flat 6 chord. That doesn't make sense to me. Do you mean in the E major 7 chord that there's a flat 6 in it? Which would be the note C, relatively. Yeah, put a C and an E major chord and that should answer it for you. But I'm thinking that this part right... Yeah, that's the sound. Yeah, I'm feeling like... Yeah. Yeah, that thing. That's a good chord. If anyone wants to play that, X 4430. And that's coming. It comes in right here. Right here.
A man can tell me so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a.
What was that note? Ba boom.
There is so much a man can tell me so much. My pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're
Ba. Yeah, whatever.
to me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a lot and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
And then the oboe or whatever is playing that. That's cool. So that whole part, the chords are all the same. The whole song revolves around this kind of theme, obviously. It's like one major to flat 6, flat 7 stuff, major stuff. I say stuff as in like the other extensions that are available on those scale degrees. Here comes the bridge. Okay.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should be kissed by a rose on the grave,
It's like, how should I say this? It's like we're in F sharp or G flat or whatever major all of a sudden. That's how I'm thinking about it anyway. F sharp is being like tonicized in this case. Feels like we're in a new key, but we're not really. And if I relate that back to the key center that we're in, we get flat 7, 4, flat 3, flat 7, 4, flat 3, flat 7. But this just sounds like 1, 5, 4, 1. So you can think of it like that.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. If I should kiss by a rose on the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave.
And it just drops right back into the key there.
Rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should kiss by a rose on the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
Okay, what is that thing?
To me, you're like a
So this sounds like one of those 11 chords to me, and then I'm thinking usually they're on the 5 of something, although they can go other places too, and it's and then it's going to the flat 6. So I'm gonna guess it's this thing. I'm wrong. Sorry, one sec. It's kind of one of these things, right? How do I think about this? It sounds so 11-y. What does that sound? It sounds like a minor 11 chord, or like it's definitely an 11 in there. If that's the 11, it's the 11 of this note. So maybe I guess it's flat 6 of the target chord. Kind of like that, right? I definitely hear this. Definitely hear that. I'm missing a note, and it's gonna bug me forever. It's kind of like that. Yeah. Something like that. Maybe it's like 2. Yeah. Thinking that we're going to E, and then this is like F sharp, 1, 5, 2, F sharp sus, I guess. I'm not satisfied. I'm sure that there's a bass note that goes good under it. That makes more sense. But I think I'm satisfied with that. Okay.
To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, like a picture to a kiss from a rose on the green. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the bloom on the grave. Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the bloom on the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's the song, man. So, 1 major. Let's see, I'm gonna plunk away on the keys here. So, what do we got? It's like... that kind of thing. Right, so 1 minor, flat 7. He's kind of doing the... And then with the whole verse, we've got 1 and 2. E, F sharp. It's actually F sharp 6, so let's see if we can have a 6 on that. Actually, this note stays through all the changes I'm realizing, so it's like... And then we'll get that in E as well. And then everything was the same. There was 1 major chord. I think there was an add 11. Okay, we got a question. So what's actually happening in this song? Is it just a simple explanation of swapping the 1 for major? Or is there more to understand? Basically flipping from Aeolian to Ionian modally. I think how do I say this? If it sounds good, it is good. And we're the ones who are splitting everything into all these different concepts. that's Ionian. Then it's Aeolian. And then is the one flipping to the thing. And it's like, we're the ones who are doing that. And how I've started to think about it these days is we're not in a Ionian or Aeolian. We're just in A flat. And all of the chords that are in Aeolian or Ionian are available. So instead of splitting them, I'm in Ionian, now I'm in Aeolian, now I'm borrowing them, you're just, I'm in A flat, these are available, right? Now the whole thing opens up. And yeah, flat 6 works, flat 7 works, all the extensions. We can kind of think, well, where do they come from? And this is where the music theory comes in, right? It's like, we can borrow them from Aeolian, and then that tells us what extensions go on them. But just maybe that's the way to think about it. How I'm thinking about it, like in terms of music theory, is we're just borrowing from Aeolian with a major key center. And you can flip the key center. The ear doesn't care, basically. I mean, I could talk endlessly about this kind of stuff, but we're introducing some notes right away. We're introducing these notes. Okay, so now it's like the brain is always factoring ratios to simplify everything. It wants to understand what's going on. So as soon as we do this, it's like, plus there's the whole harmonic series that's being generated from each note and the way that they're interacting with one another. But we've introduced this note, right? The minor third. It's funny because it says B, but it's technically C flat. Haha, C flat. And then we go down to, so it's like, we're in a minor key, but then this note comes in there. So we've got both of these notes. But, you know, it just sounds good. I mean, that's just the way to think about it for now. Or I could think that, you know, it gets kind of funny, right? I'm in Aeolian. Oh, now it's Mixolydian. Because Mixolydian has a 1 to a flat 7 to a 1. So now it gets really weird. It's like we're in Aeolian, but then we're in Mixolydian, and so then I play the Mixolydian scale, blah, 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 it just gets pretty gnarly. So we're just in A flat, and we can make A flat major or minor, and we decided to play a flat 7 chord before it, which is borrowed from Aeolian or Mixolydian. How do I do it these days? I guess for me, it's just such a common sound to have a major or minor key center and to have a flat 7 major chord. That's kind of how I'm organizing it in my mind, I would say. So hopefully that answers your question rather than making it sound more confusing, but okay, nice. We got a happy face. Maybe that's a good way to think about it. The modal stuff. Yeah, maybe I'll just go on a little bit of a rant here at the end. So each mode, in the same way that like a major scale produces chords, you guys know your diatonic harmony. This kind of sound. Every mode has its own order of chords. I talked about modes last week. I'm not going to go deep into it now, but like if I wanted to play in C, I'm going to put myself on the spot here on keys to try to play in C Dorian. I could do this on the guitar pretty easily, but keys are new for me and I want to practice, so you're stuck with me. So Dorian has a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, flat 7. Okay, so the only thing that's different between Aeolian and Dorian is this note. Right, that's C Aeolian, but so this note. Now, when I change this note to this note, the B flat to, let me think about that for a sec. A flat to A. Every chord that had an A flat in it is now moving to an A. And the A flat is the flat 6 of the 1 chord. It's the flat 5 of the 2 chord. It's the 4 of the flat 3 chord, right? So it has a relationship to every chord in the scale. So what is this the third of? Well, it's the third of the 4 chord. So that's why in Aeolian, we get a 1 minor to a 4 minor chord, because this note is in there. It's making the chord minor, A flat, the flat 6 of the key. But if I raise the 6 and I play Dorian now, it's going to move all of the A flats to A, and the 4 chord is the chord where this A flat is the third of it. So if I move that, ooh, now it's major. So a Dorian sound is playing 1 minor to 4 major. I'm sure you guys have heard that kind of thing before. You can add other notes in there too. That's that that thing, that's a Dorian sound. I don't know how to play it on keys, or else I would play instead of sing it. But so then I organize in my mind Dorian, 1 minor to 4 major. What the hell was that? This is not the 4 major. It's like a musical joke. All right, guys, here comes the pretty sound. This sound. I'm resisting playing that chord again. I want y'all to know. So then that's how I organize it in my mind. If I want to play that on guitar, I think 1 minor. Oops. Anyway, I'm just playing around with 1 and 4 minor chords now. So, and every mode has its own kind of characteristic sound. I'm not going to go through them all right now. I feel like I'm just in a box here talking on my screen anyway, so I'm going to wrap it up. If there's anyone out there who didn't say hi, hi. Thanks for chilling with me. Cryptographics, always a pleasure, my dude. Thanks for chilling on the chat with me. It really, really helps. So hope you guys learned something. If you did, let me know. If you have questions about stuff, let me know. That's why I'm on YouTube, to talk about this kind of stuff. If you guys want to know about chords and ear training and modes and stuff. So happy to share. Peace out.